He is an enigma.
Alright, here we go. Game 2, Zlo versus Shen. Shen is up 1-0 over Zlo, and this is his map pick. Good old Red Rocks, but the FAF version this time.
So, wait a second. So, Zlo's first pick is Sarah, and second is Aeon, and he bans Aeon. And Shen is literally, well, not literally the reverse. He picks Aeon and then Sarah, but Zlo bans Sarah. So he gets Sarah to play, and Shen bans Aeon, which was Zlo's second pick, not his first pick. So they both either wanted Aeon or Seraphim, which makes sense. And they both banned Aeon, so we get the Seraphim versus Sarah matchup.
I feel that's reasonable. It's not Zlo just randomly being like, actually, I would like UEF, please.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, if he picked UEF here, that would be a lot of respect for him.
No, I mean, you still, like, Janus spam is maybe still a thing in 1v1? I don't know.
No, you do it for the Destroyer. You get the UEF Destroyer on Red Rocks. It'll be great.
Let's not make the jokes too too high level there.
Wow. Look at this respect AA, though.
What? That's awful. I hate that. It's not. It's a bad move. It reminds me of FTX when Turn was in these team game lobbies, and he went to the first bomber literally every game, and then FTX started making a quick AA. So first of all, you have to take into account the distance, right? Like, he made that AA as the third unit, or I think, or the second or third unit. But I think it was the third.
Yeah, I think it was the third.
It's not needed to be that early, right? Because, you know, it's it just doesn't.
Bomber can't get there in time.
Like, he can, yeah, exactly. He can delay it and make an extra engineer. So that's the first big mistake. Second of all, if you think first bomber is so strong to make first MAA, and you know that nobody else does that, why don't you go first bomber?
You know, that's a good point. He could have just gone first bomber himself.
Okay, third reason, if he goes first AA to protect his base, or like to protect early things, why does he rush out and engineer towards the middle of the map? Which is the most vulnerable to a bomber.
Well, you have to give the bomber something to kill. Otherwise it would feel bad.
Next argument, why is that engineer just homing in on 375 mass rocks, when right in front of his base there is literally 2k reclaim in 10 mass rocks? What makes those 75 mass rocks better?
I don't know why he's not going straight to the middle to get like the 150 mass rocks and all the contestable reclaim, because that's usually where you go.
At least that's contested, but this engineer to the bottom here, that's such a weird engineer. Oh, here's the bomber and the scout from Shen, and he's gonna see the AA and be like, bruh, he's dead.
Shen's just scratching his head right now, like, okay, cool, you did that. I'll just have my bomber kill everything else now.
Yeah, that AA is, it's... The thing is, especially on this map as well, where, like, if it's a map where you can actually advance the AA a bit, it's not necessarily as bad. But here it's, like, right, it's stuck, like, it can't be in front of the base, right?
It can't. It just sort of has to hang out near the base and can never protect all the engineers.
Like, yeah, right now, this engineer, for example, you want to put your MEA between the bomber and the engineer so it can, so you have enough time to shoot it down and dodge while the bomber is coming for you. But because the MEA is so close to the shore, it can shoot down the bomber before the bomber drops its bomb.
It does deal some damage to the bomber, and the NT will finish it off.
Okay, I do like the transport rush from Slow, but it is later than Shen's.
Yeah, Shen going to drop. This is kind of interesting.
Shen does have air control, but is he gonna drop there? What?
He's gonna drop here to grab the mexes, then he's gonna drop to the bottom left, and then he's gonna come back and drop where the reclaim should be, but Zlo stole it.
And that's very weird.
It's highly unusual, but I don't know, maybe there's something to this.
I guess Slow is quite lucky that that this engineer didn't get bombed, didn't get found by the bomber.
Yeah, this is actually a
Slow's,
huge boon. Like, he's gonna grab all the middle reclaim for free.
by the way, Shen already dropped his back before dropping here, but Slow is just now dropping it. He dropped 4 engineers at the back. Wow. Yeah, that engineer is like the lifeline of Slow at the moment. At least that's what he is going for him. But his factory spam, he's already down 2 factories in mid.
I mean, he just has no presence in mid that's meaningful. He's gonna have his issue build a bunch of factories after Shen already has 3.
Like, mid control is important, of course, but you know, if he like manually reclaims an infinite amount with his engineer, and he manages to steal a lot, and if he just doesn't bother in lots of land spam and goes full air spam, it is actually quote-unquote viable, or it can be in theory, although he doesn't have air.
Yeah, but like, if you ignore the middle, you need both corners and air control to compensate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he doesn't have both corners.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying, right? If you don't let your opponent invest a lot in mid, and you yourself just invest full on air, then there's a possibility where it works out. It's dangerous though, don't get me wrong, but... Oh, the engineer in mid, where is it going? No!
It's going on a hike.
It's such a missed opportunity.
I mean, he
There's
got
fight.
some of it.
That's pretty even. But Slow has more reinforcements coming, although he does get the worst first turn, but actually he does, well, Shen just microed a lot better there, and he actually wins the airfight brutally. He lost 1 inti.
Yeah, all
Both of
this
his intis has 3 kills, this one has 1 kill, this one has 2 kills, and this one also has 3 kills. Those intis have 8 kills, 9 kills together.
But Slow does pick up the bomber in the
Shen.
top right with a single inti. So he'll secure that at least. And he's gotten into the Navy faster than Shen has, so that's worth something. But Shen is just investing a lot in controlling
No,
mid.
the off-map inti from Slow, everything lost orders. Now it might kill some of the highly vetted intis.
Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Go get him.
This inti move from Shen is not good. It's not gonna be good.
No, I think they locked on the transport.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I just noticed.
Oh, look, the AA! It's helping!
The hero AA, it was worth after all. It killed more mass than it was worth.
Absolutely cost effective.
So... This factory at the bottom left, Shen dropped there 2 minutes ago. I'm not sure why it's still not done.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. He's been there a while. Maybe he's been busy. But Slow's getting, looks like, gun. And he's got 3 factories. And a dream. Bliss.
Yeah, it's he did make 2 navy factories, although they are at a very awkward location.
I mean, Shen is just assisting one very heavily, which is equivalent, more or less.
It is, but I like the positioning more. It's just, especially assuming you're against Sarah, you know, Phobos will make it across the water at some point. And those factories are in pretty dangerous locations to be Phobos. And it's not like you can use them for future assistance because they're just too far away from your build power.
Alright, Slow has a gun. What is he gonna do with it?
Dude, he might win the bottom left actually, because Shen is just so late with his investment there.
Yeah, he can lock this factory.
He is logging the factory and he's gonna drop there, so he will win the other corner, which is good, because it's not looking great for him.
I mean, he's also sort of donating tanks into Slow right now.
He is, yeah.
I mean, if he's not careful and he walks into Slow's gun comm, he could die.
Although, of course, Shen does make a lot more mass to go over the islands. Let's see, is he going Tech 2 anywhere? That's by the looks of things. I feel like Shen should be going Tech 2 air. You know, because he has the mid control mostly. Oh, look at Slow Stop Navy Factory. He's hiding his sub underneath the factory, or like inside the factory.
What? What is this? Okay, alright. It's actually a point defense.
I mean, he did send out his first sub and he lost it. In the sub battle because he got double teamed. Let's see. But now there's Phobos. Well, I guess he is about to have some frigates.
Yeah, he needs those
Just
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he also has air control.
He does have air control, and he did win the bottom left. Two bombers are perma-locking the factory. So that's something's going for him. He can't push too far with the gun because he will get squeezed around. But, let's see the sub. Dude, it's not taking damage. The factory is blocking the shots from the subs. That's amazing. I've never seen someone do that before.
This is incredible. New meta just dropped. Just hide your sub in the factory, guys.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I didn't know that was even possible. How is those still finding new stuff in this game?
I think it's because, unlike other factions, the Serra like underwater like extension is a lot more thick than you know, the UEF has like these legs but you can't really hide in them. But I guess in the Serra factory you can hide.
I guess you can.
Unless Shen was simply targeting the factory to begin with and not the subs.
Balanced team? What's going on here?
Dude, not realistic.
But Slow is sort of.
I don't like this slow push on top with his tanks. I think he needs to be defensive.
Yeah, he needs to defend his factories here. If he loses his factories, he's in danger of getting cut off, and Shen's getting his own gun.
I mean, this ACU has gotten decent value so far, but he kind of has to go back now, or at least grab the reclaim and take the max while walking back. But Slow's position is, it could be a lot worse. He did lose a max. I hope that wasn't upgrading. I don't think it was in his main base with the Phobos, but it didn't do too much damage. A drop from Shen on the bottom left, but there's two bombs. Oh no! They didn't drop. He moved it at just the right time.
Alright, in theory, Zlo can hold this position.
Yeah, but Intis are coming to kill the bombers, and the bombers aren't really dropping well because the tanks are being microed.
My concern is that once Shed gets guns, Lo has to be very, very careful, otherwise he will just die.
Yeah, but Shen lost, you know, he lost quite some of the nexus in mid. Like, there's not that many nexus to get to begin with. So, his advantage of mid isn't that big, although he did kill 3 of Slow's nexus in the top right with frigates, which is pretty helpful. Although then again, Slow is the bottom left corner, so I think it is actually pretty even. Shen is making a second tech to max right now. Slow, I'm still not seeing making one. Nope.
I mean, mass income is pretty even right now. Zlo's ahead 35 to 33. But if he gets kicked off mid, that could change pretty rapidly.
There should be, I mean, there's still 1.5k reclaim at the bottom left. And there's still a bit of reclaim in the top right as well. I mean, there's, yeah, I mean, funny enough, Slow also has quite some mass around his factories. He should be able to grab that.
I mean, Zlo's been getting a lot of value on this gun com.
Yeah, that's true. I think the main issue is he's not been grabbing his reclaim too fast, especially like his issue was in mid just now, killed lots of stuff, and just left the reclaim for Shen to grab, which is quite bad. This SU though, he can die here.
Yeah, this is very sketchy. He has some radar coverage of exactly where Shen's units are, and now he'll see, alright, I gotta run to the water, let's go.
Okay, I think he's safe. I think he's close. Shen's units are too far away, he can't block him. There's this big airfight coming though, and I think Shen's gonna win it. Because Slow's intis are turned the wrong way, plus he has a bit less. And Shen has been hard assisting his air factories for ages. So that's a big area for Shen, and that honestly is almost more important now than that's happening.
Yeah, Shen conclusively takes air. Zlo will probably vet and get into the water. He's actually blocking himself with the tank.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bet. The issue is Shen can just push onto the north now. Slow is still sending his tanks in, but they all go to the doom. Yeah, okay, now he defeats them. It's a bit too late. He lost like 10 for nothing. I mean, it's important who gets this reclaim file now. That's 2k mass of reclaim, and you're on 25 income. Quite a lot. But this is why, I mean, I'm surprised no one is still on Tech 2.
Oh, wait, is Shen actually kind of trapped here? Like, what if Slow just cuts him off right now? Slow has a lot of units in this position.
Yeah, I don't think Shen can push there. That's too dangerous.
Oh, he absolutely cannot, and this is very sketchy, but Slow is not sending his tanks in, so it might be it's fine.
Yeah, Slow wait, just a bit too long. There's still the Viking and Navy skirmishes on the right side. One sub and a frigate versus one sub and a frigate over and over again.
Alright, he runs back in the water, but now Slow's thinking about moving his tanks in. Shen's gonna try to lead with his ACU. If Slow micros this correctly, he might be able to get a win, or at least a draw.
Yeah, but Slow is moving his ACU away while he's moving his tanks in.
Yeah.
And 30 seconds ago he did the opposite.
He just needs to coordinate this fight perfectly, but Shen is now... He's thinking about leaving. He's thinking maybe I don't need to be here.
The issue is that Shen right now has 5 Tech 2 maxes.
He does.
And Slow has 1. About to be 2, about to be 3, about to be 4. He has 3 on 70%. I hope he's not stalling too hard. Now Slow is moving in with his ACU, but all the units are getting heated.
He's got to do both at the same time, just once. And then I think Shen might die, or at least draw. He also probably wants some subs over here in this pond.
I mean, it's actually really important because he's now letting Shen get a lot of the reclaim field. Also, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, Shen should probably leave with his ACU because actually he's not actually, even though he's ahead of Tech 2 maxes now, Slow just finished. Like, it's now 4 maxes for Slow versus 5 for Shen, but Slow is both corners. Slow is actually not in that bad of a position.
Yeah, Slow is up 2 vet levels on Shen in this ACU gunfight. Alright, he's going in, but...
No! Slow is dead.
His units are not with him.
No, why would you do this?
Oh, and he's eating the RD shells. Oh, and Shen will take game 2.
GG says after that.
GG.
That is... That's the most anticlimactic fight ever.
I mean, there was also this sort of important naval fight that was going on that we weren't really paying attention to.
Yeah, I did see that. It was a bit of a masturbation in the end, but compared to a certain move, it wasn't as important.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite get his tanks and ACU to coordinate how he needed to, when he needed to. And
This
Shen
just
will
felt
take...
like this felt like it's a team game with one player using the tanks and the other the ASU, and you just can't figure out to push at the same time. But somehow the Slow managed to do